Okay, if you turn to page 37 in your Chapter 3B packets, we are going to be reviewing how to solve for different variables. Now, when we worked in Chapter 4, we learned how to solve for y. That was called putting it into function form. Solving for y was the same as putting it into function form. Here's an equation on page 37, and this is in standard form. Remember, ax plus by equals c. Well, I want you to solve this equation for y, which is like putting it into slope-intercept form. But to solve for y, I need to have y all by itself. So negative 7y is going to stay there, but I'm going to get rid of negative 4x. Now be careful when you do this. A lot of times people do not bring down a negative 7y. They ignore the negative. Now remember, I put negative 4x first because if we're going to put it into slope-intercept form, we like to have the x term first. Now I divide this by negative 7, this by negative 7, this by negative 7, and I get y equals. Now when you have a negative over a negative, it becomes a positive. But a positive over negative becomes a negative, so this is y equals 4/7 x minus 6. Okay, so now let's look at the next one. The next one is also in standard form, so we get a quick review of standard form too. 6x plus y equals negative 4. So to solve for y means get the y all by itself. I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. And this is simple because it's just a y. And remember to put the negative 6x first. Now, if you don't put the negative 6x first, it's not wrong, but we do like to put it in. It would be wrong if I said put it in slope-intercept form. Would not be wrong if I just said solve for y. Okay, let's look at number 3. Okay, 2x minus 3y equals 9. Now at this point, I'd like you to stop the video and try to do this on your own. Okay? And then turn the video back on and watch me do it. So for each of these, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I will do them for you, but you should try to do them on your own, and then the answers are at the bottom. If you don't get it wrong, you can watch me do it on the video. So this is, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So it's negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. I'm then going to divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. So y equals 2/3 x minus 3. Okay? Now, number 4. 13x plus 8y equals negative 48, minus 13x, minus 13x. 8y equals negative 13x minus 48. Divide by 8, divide by 8, divide by 8. Y equals negative 13/8 x minus 6. Okay? Now, number 5. 16x minus 11y equals negative 24, minus 16x, minus 16x. Negative 11y equals negative 16x minus 24. Divide by negative 11. And we get y equals 16/11 x plus 24/11. And that's because that's a negative over a negative. And then number 6. Minus 6x, minus 6x. Be careful, that's a negative y, so make it negative y equals negative 6x minus 6. We don't want to solve for negative y, so we divide everything by negative 1, or we just change the signs of everything. Okay, and that's the end of page 37.